Nicole Guillaume with Guiding Echoes, the channel that is devoted to your spiritual and personal growth. And in this video, I am answering one of the questions you have been asking me the most, and it is, what is up with these numbers that I am seeing all the time? So let's say that you're driving to work and you see a billboard, and on that billboard is the number 1111. No big deal, you've seen that number before, right? You continue driving, and in front of you at some point is a license plate that says 1111, and you think to yourself, twice in the span of 5 minutes, what are the odds? Later you get to work, you're talking to a coworker, you exchange numbers, and you look down, and within his phone number is 1111. And at that point you start to think to yourself, this seems like a little bit more than a coincidence. What the heck is going on? So let me explain that to you. The universe uses numbers and patterns to get our attention. And so when you see a specific sequence of numbers popping up over and over again, it means that there is some type of vibrational match that you are in tuned to, and the universe is trying to get your attention because it wants to give you a message. Usually it's trying to give you validation, or it wants to give you some type of warning, and the warnings aren't usually bad. It may just be something like, hey, you're a little too into your thoughts right now, let's raise your vibration. So the common belief is that these numbers come to us from our angels, which makes sense because the word angel means messenger. So angels are experts at getting our attention and at relaying different messages to us. However, angels aren't the only ones that use numbers to get our attention. God uses numbers to get our attention, or the universe, or whatever you'd like to call it. Our higher self, our spirit guides, our loved ones on the other side can all use these repeated sequence of numbers to get our attention. So in this video, we are going to dive into the most common numbers so that if you do start to see them pop up over and over again, you'll get a sense of what they mean for you. So let's go ahead and start with the number that might be most common to you, but not very common for others, and it is your birth date. So my birthday is December 13th, so when I start to see 1213 pop up over and over again, believe me, I pay attention. And when your birth date starts to come up, of course I'm talking about numerically, when it starts to come up in a lot of different forms, in unexpected ways of course, it is a sign that you are on the right path for your destiny. So if you are starting to feel discouraged, or you're wondering, what am I doing with my life, or should I quit what it is that I'm doing, am I making the right decisions, this angel number is letting you know you are absolutely on the right path and keep going. And it is a sign of encouragement for when you're feeling discouraged. And it also pops up at a time when you may not be able to see the full picture. So let's say, for example, that you have a plan for your own life, and as you're implementing this plan, you're not seeing the results that you want. In fact, maybe you're making all the right choices and doing all the right things, and yet things keep blowing up in your face. And when that happens, it can be so discouraging, and we start to doubt ourselves, we lose trust in ourselves, we lose trust in the universe, we start to wonder, what the heck is going on here? Like, why does it feel as if the universe is conspiring against me? And in those moments, it's really important for us to stay strong and stay stubborn and resilient and continue going along that path anyway. Because what will happen is that we will grow through these struggles if we continue to barrel through them. And so yes, you may be experiencing some discouragement, you'll be experiencing some challenges, there will be some heavy things happening in your life. But if you keep seeing your birth date popping up over and over again, it's saying this is just temporary. This is just a season. You're on the right track. Keep going. Things are going to turn around, but you have to be patient. Keep making the right choices. Keep moving towards your goal. Keep moving towards wherever your heart lies. Keep moving forward on that path, and eventually doors will begin to open for you. Okay? So take this note of encouragement and know that things will change but it may take some time. The next number on the list is 911, and if you live in the United States of America, you're familiar with this number because it's the number we dial in an emergency when we need the assistance from the cops, an ambulance, or possibly the firemen. So when 911 begins to show up repeatedly in your life, it is in fact a warning. It is telling you to pay careful attention to your surroundings and to pay very careful attention to any contracts you may sign or agreements you may want to get into. It can also indicate deceit on behalf of the people around you, or that there's an energy vampire in your midst. So if 911 starts popping up and you start to get a sense that someone in your inner circle may not have your best interest in mind, or someone is conspiring against you, 911 is your validation that this isn't just in your head and you need to listen to your gut. So this doesn't mean that you confront the person, it doesn't mean that you do anything nasty or that you become overly suspicious of them when they're just basically minding their own business. It means that you just be careful with the interactions that you have with them, and maybe you limit yourself without causing a scene, because they could be up to something that may work against you. So just pay attention to that. Alright, so next on our list is 111, and if you've been seeing this number a lot, it basically means that it is time for you to embrace your individual personal power. 111 is preparing you to step out of the crowd, to step out of your social group, because you're going to be on your own for a while, and while that may sound scary, it really isn't. 111 means that whatever dreams you have, whatever goals you have, now is the time to get serious about it, because you are in magic making mode, and that's a good mode to be in. However, when you're there, you're going to notice that your creativity muscles seem to expand, your connection to the universe gets even brighter, and when this happens, we want to almost cocoon ourselves so that we can stay in that vibe to create whatever it is we're creating. So the reason you may need to step away from your friends for a season, or maybe just not hang out with them quite so much, is because you want to be able to put your attention and your intention and your energy into this creating mode. The reality is that as much as we love hanging out with our friends, if we're spending time with them, that means we're probably not spending time with the thing that we're trying to create. So if you're wanting to write a book, or if you're even just wanting to exercise more and get your body in shape, if you're wanting to work on your relationship, how likely are you able to do that if you're still hanging out with the crowd too much? So I'm not saying that you need to deny your friends, but I am saying that more time to yourself and more time focusing on your goal and your purpose is going to be beneficial to you. So 111 is a wonderful time to kind of detach, reflect, and ask yourself, what do I want to create? Because your energy is ready to create those things, or start putting a plan together so you can create wonderful things in your life. Alright, so let's move on to 1111, which is the most common angel number that people see. So of course it's the most common number that they recognize. Now 1111 can be a wonderful, wonderful number to see, or it can give you cause to worry, and here's why. 1111 is a sign that what you've been creating via your thoughts, your energy, your behaviors, and actions is manifesting now. Not later, not sometime down the line, but right now. It's coming to you quickly. So this can be a great thing if you have been sowing seeds of peace, of magic, of wonder, of love, of hope, of faith, of abundance. If you've been planting the right seeds, those wonderful things are going to show up in your life, and they're going to show up quickly. So remember, you reap what you sow. 1111 may not be the best number for you if you have been sowing seeds of destruction, of chaos, of disagreements, of arguments. This is not going to be a fun time for you. So there is a flip side to this, and it is when you start seeing 1111, you may want to start putting your prayers and attention out there and saying, all right, God, I know that I haven't been in the right frame of mind lately, and I don't want to create destruction and chaos in my life. So please at least have a plan for me at the end of this. Like, guide me through this, because I know what I've been creating hasn't been that great, and I'm a little nervous to go through whatever it is I've created. So own it. Own it. Know that you haven't been making the best decisions. Know that things haven't been going the way that you wanted them to because of your actions or your thoughts or your energy. And ask for divine help, because they will give it to you. They're not going to let you off the hook, because there's always a consequence to our actions, and there's always a lesson. There's always a gift in the lessons that we create for ourselves, but they can at least give you the grace, the strength, the courage to get through those troubling times. So just something to be aware of. If you see 1111, you can either be excited about it or you might be a little nervous, but just embrace whatever it is you've been creating and take the appropriate action as you move into that space and into that energy of whatever it is you've been creating. So next we move on to 222. So this is a wonderful vibration because it is about balance, harmony, peace, and we like these things, right? So when we think of balance, I want you to think of a set of scales. Balance sometimes can be really boring, but there are times when balance is very necessary, because when the scales are balanced, nothing is happening. And sometimes we need to be in that area of nothing happening so we can just kind of rest and rejuvenate. So 222 is telling you that things are either in balance, or maybe you need to get something in balance. Maybe we want to disperse the chaos for a little bit so that eventually we can bring in joy and hope and faith. Sometimes, though, we are in an energy where we're too angry, we're too frustrated, there's just too many things going on, and we don't even know what it would feel like to be in an energy of peace, much less joy. So 222 is reminding you to bring balance into your life, and you'll want to take a look at the situations that you're in, at all the life challenges you're facing, and just ask yourself, okay, on a scale of 1 to 10, how stressed out am I about this situation here? And what actions can I take? What thoughts do I need to adopt? What beliefs do I need to change in order to get this a little balanced? What do I need to do? What do I need to believe? What do I need to think to take the sting out of this subject? Because if you're honest with yourself, right, if you're thinking about money or your love life or your kids or whatnot, there are elements of that that probably hurt. They're painful, they're stressful, there's a sting to it. So think of 222 as a way of saying, we're going to get the tweezers and the antiseptic and we're going to take the stinger out, and you're not going to feel wonderful right away, but we're at least going to take out the things that are hurting you so that your body can get back in balance. I did this because I'm thinking of getting a bee stinging me here. But anyways, we want to get your body back into balance. And once it's balanced, you can move forward and you can be the ferocious tiger that we know you are. And you can get out there and create the life that you want and be that ambitious go-getter that you are and go live the life that you deserve. So 222 can be about balance, but it can also be about teamwork, collaboration, and if you are looking for your life partner, it could be an indication that your soulmate is on his or her way to you. So there's a lot of different ways to look at 222, and you will know which of these messages are most likely based on what's happening in your life. So if you're seeing this number a lot, you may want to take some time to journal about what's happening in your life and ask yourself, is this coming up because my soulmate's arriving? Is this coming up because I need to start asking people for help and maybe delegating some of my responsibilities? Or do I need to take the sting out of some of my life issues so that I can be balanced, calmer, and more peaceful in these areas, which will allow me to make better decisions? 333 is next on the list, and this is a number that can be very encouraging regardless of what you're going on in life, because it means that you are heavily supported by divine spiritual beings. So if you're a Christian and you believe in the Trinity, it means that you are fully supported by the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit right now. So they are are wrapping their arms around you, they are embracing you, and they are helping you through whatever life situation you're going through. However, if you're not a Christian, and that's okay, whatever divine beings you believe in, whether it's ascended masters or different gods and goddesses, this is a sign that they are in tune with you right now. So they have heard your prayers, they have seen your rituals, you've gotten their attention, and they are ready to work with you now. So the question is, are you ready to work with them? 333 can also be an invitation to meditate more, to get serious about your prayer life, to dive into more spiritual books, the ones that really resonate with you, or the ones you've been curious about for a while. For me, when I see 333 recently, I've been thinking to myself, I really should pick up some books on Hinduism, because lately that has been a belief system that I've been curious about. So whatever religious theme has been popping up in your mind, or not religious exactly, but spiritual, it means that this is a time for you to explore that, because you have the attention of the divine masters, of gods and goddesses of the universe. So move forward in that spiritual belief. 333 can also indicate that there is something in your past that is currently affecting your present in a big way. And if you don't get a handle on it, it's going to control your future as well. Now, of course, this can be a positive thing, or it can ring the alarm bells. So if you're aware of something negative that is currently influencing your present life, it's really important for you to tune into that and start asking your gods, goddesses, ascended masters, angels, Jesus Christ, whoever it is that you work with, for help in clearing the energy of this situation, because you don't want this energy, this mess, this hot mess, to continue into the future and to start directing your future events. We want to get a handle on it now. So just be aware of that. And of course, if this is a good thing, if there's been an event in your past that's affecting your present in a good way, then it can of course be a positive thing that it's affecting your future too. So you want to actually infuse that energy with even more positive thoughts and positive language, talking out loud in a way that is helpful and happy and excitable, because you want to feed positive energy into that. So continue to ask your gods and goddesses, your higher self, your angels, whoever, for help in this endeavor, because as you're bringing this energy into your future, of course you want it to expand and you want it to be wonderful. So just ask for the resources that'll make that happen. If 333 is a sign that the ascended masters and divine beings are near you, 444 is an indication that your angels want to work with you more. So this is an invitation to get to know them a little bit more, to work with them more, to dive into their energy. And if you don't know how to do that, then pick up different books on the topic. There are so many out there. And of course, there's lots of videos about angels here on YouTube. Trust me, there's no shortage of them here on YouTube, so check those out. My best advice, though, is to find a guided meditation in which you meet your guardian angel. So find one that resonates with you. There are some out there that are really great, and there are some out there that are kind of eh. So play around with the different ones that are available. See which one you like and continue to make that a practice, because the more you tune into your guardian angels, the more you tune into that angel energy, the easier it's going to be for you to communicate. So I would say, at the very least, work with them for 30 days straight. So do this guided meditation, whichever one you find that you like, do it for 30 days consistently. My favorite angel meditation is called Living Prayer by Kelly Howell, and that's available on YouTube now. So I'll be sure to put a link in the description area down below so you can check that out. 555 is a number that indicates change is coming, whether you are ready for it or not. And it can also be a sign that change is needed. So when you look at the angel numbers, a lot of them do indicate that there's some type of transition needed. 222 is about balance or possibly teamwork. That's a transition. 333 is about working closer with your ascended masters, gods and guides. That is a transition. 444 is a transition. 111 is a transition. 555 means that this is a change that is happening quickly. And so when I think of this type of change, when 555 is coming up a lot, what comes in mind for me is the Tower card in tarot. This is a quick change that is unexpected that causes pure chaos. So 555 is a warning for you to start getting grounded now. Don't wait for the chaos to start up before you start doing your meditations and focusing on how to be more peaceful as you work through stress. Start doing that now because the change is coming. It is a change that is necessary. Whenever change comes into your life through divine means, it is a change that is necessary, that is needed for your personal growth somehow. But that doesn't mean that it's comfortable, right? I think we can agree that some change is uncomfortable, especially if we feel as if it's happening outside of our own timeline, outside of our desires. So I don't know about you, but I have had plenty of experience when it comes to uncomfortable change, uncomfortable transitions. And we want to be sure that you are ready for that. So start grounding, find a guided meditation that works well with you. And I would also say don't try to figure out what that change is going to be, because you could have a million guesses and they could all be wrong. So just know that the change is coming, get grounded, and I would even say start working with a Reiki practitioner if you can. Start working on getting your energies balanced and do what you have to do to build yourself up emotionally, spiritually, and energetically so that when the change comes, you're ready for it, all right? Your guides aren't going to start showing you these numbers and then be like, okay, you're on your own, or they're not showing you these numbers to scare you. They're showing them to prepare you for what's to come, okay? So don't get scared, don't get mad, don't freak out. Just start taking those self-care steps that you need to take now so you can ease through the transition as peacefully, as gracefully as possible. Next on our list is a number that scares a lot of people, and that number is 666. So there is no reason to fear this number. It's actually a very good number because it is the number of luck, abundance, wealth, and optimism. 666 is highly grounded in material things. So this means that it is closely associated with your root chakra. We won't talk about chakras too much. If you've never heard this word before, just do a little Google search. You'll find all that you need to know about it. But root chakras are also associated with earth energy. And it is also grounded in wealth, abundance, money issues. So 666 is a sign that abundance is coming to you, that wealth is coming to you, or that you're in the right vibration to start creating it. 666 can also be the number of sexuality, because when you look at the number 6, it can almost look like a pregnant person. See, that's where the little baby is. So 666 can also be a number of pure, raw sexuality. It's telling you that you are in vibration to have a wildly fun sexual life. So if you've noticed that you've been getting turned on a little bit more, it's because you're in the vibration to have a healthy, happy sex life, and good for you. That's awesome. So there's no need to suppress those feelings when they come up. You just need to make sure that you're practicing them with a safe partner in a safe environment, because of course sex can be dangerous, which you already know, so we're not going to have that conversation, but it is telling you that you can embrace it, right? Own it. Be an animal and let those instincts thrive. So while 666 is all about material things and money and wealth and all of those wonderful things that we would associate with the physical world, 777 is of course a higher vibration, and this number is about spiritual evolvement. So this is telling you that you are at a point right now where you are growing exponentially in your spiritual life. And this can be so encouraging because a lot of times we're doing really well in our spiritual growth, but it doesn't feel like it, right? We may feel as if our prayers aren't being answered. We may be meditating, but feel as if our mind is wandering, or we may feel as if our intuition is blocked. And when we are experiencing those type of blocks, we start to think, well, maybe I'm not spiritually evolved enough. Maybe there's something wrong with me. Like, oh my God, how do I get my intuition working again? And 777 is telling you, hey, everything's fine. Your spiritual evolvement is working the way it's supposed to be. You just have to be patient with it. You just have to work through it. And if you have been putting your spiritual life to the side, well, of course, 777 is that invitation to get back into it. So if you've been seeing this number a lot, you've been maybe a little lazy on the meditations, which no judgment here, it happens to me too. It's an invitation, right? It's not a command. It's not a commandment. It's an invitation to start meditating and praying and getting back to your spiritual roots again. So introspection, philosophy, knowledge, reading, singing spiritual hymns are all things that you can do, are all things that are going to be important during this time because it really feeds that spiritual side of you. So start asking yourself, what are some things that I can do to feed my spiritual life that's not going to feel frustrating, that's not going to make me feel as if I'm blocked, and can open my intuition even further? But chances are, if you're seeing 777, your intuition is on fire. You're noticing that your spiritual self, maybe your aura, your energy feels brighter and bigger than usual, because if 777 is popping up, it means you are in a wonderful vibrational match for that number. 888 is an indication that prosperity is on its way to you, and it's also an indication that you are supported in trying something new. So if there's something that you've been wanting to try but you've been putting it off, say learning how to play the piano, or maybe wanting to take an art class, or learning a new language, this is a number sign that's saying, hey, go for it. What are you waiting for? Just dive into it. Now's the right time for this, and you're fully supported in trying this new thing. 888 is also a number that I refer to as the magician's number, because when you look at the magician card in tarot, you'll notice that the infinity symbol is above his head. Now, the infinity symbol looks as if the number 8 decided to lay down and take a nap, right? It's the number 8, but on its side. So when I see the number 8, to me, I think to myself, wow, this is a great time to start blending my intuition with the physical tools that I have. So that could mean that I am sitting at my computer and I am opening up a Word document and I am using that physical tools to start channeling messages that are coming to me through my intuition. And if you're someone who likes to work with crafts, it could mean that you are using those tools, your paint brushes, your beads, your string, whatever it is, and you're allowing that intuitive information or universal energy to move through your consciousness, right? You're using your intuition to guide you in creating a beautiful painting or a new piece of jewelry or a new program if you're a computer programmer, right? So this is a sign that you are in magician's mode, that you are using both physical things and your intuition to create something new. When you see that number, pause and think about, what new thing do I want to do? What new thing do I want to create? What new skill would I love to pick up? What have I been avoiding? These are all wonderful introspective things to ask yourself when you see the number 888. Now, 999 is the number of completion. So when you see this number, it means either something is coming to an end or you need to put something to an end. So if you're unhappy at your job, if you are unhappy at school, if you're unhappy in a relationship, this is an indication that something in that needs to end. So it doesn't necessarily mean that the relationship needs to end. It may mean that whatever is fueling the uncomfortableness in it is what needs to end. So maybe there needs to be a serious talk, or there's a behavior that needs to stop. And when it comes to school, it's not necessarily saying that you need to leave school, but maybe you need to think about different options that are available to you there. Maybe you need to change your classes. Maybe you need to go in for a different degree. So think about what it is that makes you feel not just stressed out, because even when we're on the path that's right for us, we can get stressed out. But really ask yourself, is this sitting in my gut in a wrong way? Do I feel as if I'm on the wrong mode? Do I feel as if I'm making a mistake by staying in this situation? Do I think that there's something better for me out there, or is there a way that this situation can be better? And think about that. So ask yourself, what needs to end? Is it a behavior? Is it an entire situation? Is it a relationship or something in the relationship? What needs to end? And the reason this is important is because the thing that you are asking about is going to end one way or another. And it's a lot easier if it ends on your terms. So if 999 is coming up a lot and you know what needs to end, I would say take that step in being brave and figure out how you can end it on your own in your terms. Because if you don't, the universe is going to work its magic and the ending can be very uncomfortable. So pay attention to the sign, work with it, and instead of fearing it, embrace it and ask yourself, how can I bring about the best ending, and is this going to be in everyone's best interest? Now technically 999 is where we should end things because it is the number of completion, but for me when I count, 10 is always the last number. So we're going to look at 1010. So 1010 is a number that indicates that you are focused and you are disciplined enough to make something happen. You are enlightened both spiritually and in the ways of the world, which means that you have both intuitive information, intuitive wisdom, but you've probably gone to the school of hard knocks, so you understand how the world works. And when you are armed with these two pieces of information, there's no limit to what you can do. So 10-10-10 is not a number of completion when you see it as an angel number. It's more or less a number that is validating your wisdom, validating your knowledge, and your self-worth. And if you start to see this in combination with 333 or 444, consider yourself very lucky, because now not only are you being recognized as someone who has a lot of knowledge and wisdom in the spirit world and in the physical world, you are also wrapping that with the support of ascended masters, angels, spiritual guides. So that is a wonderful vibration to be in. So I hope that you found this video helpful. Now, if you have a story in which you are seeing a number frequently, I would love to hear that. So put it in the comment section down below. And if there's a number that I missed or a number that you'd love to talk about, put that in the comment section down below too. I'd love to hear from you. If this is your first time watching one of my videos, I would like to welcome you to the Guiding Echoes community, and I'd also like to invite you to subscribe to this channel. Here on this channel, we love to talk about spiritual things, and we like to talk about purpose and angels and consciousness and ways that you can grow as a person. So if that's something you're interested in, you've come to the right place. So hit that subscribe button, and also remember to hit the little bell, because that's how you can be notified when I release new videos in the future. If you'd like to learn more about me and see what online courses I offer or have an intuitive session with me, please visit my website at guidingechoes.com. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.